Betcha is a junior. He won at 140 a year ago. Justin Javinko, Plymouth Whitemarsh, part of that large contingent from District 1 that is here in the Parade of Champions tonight. And he's going to run into Troy Letters of Shaler, District 7. He's 35-0, and Javinko is 37-1. This is a heck of a matchup here at 145, isn't it?
Well, it really is. Javinko, he is not weak in any area. He's good on his feet. He's good at getting out. He's got some great spinning combinations, and he's in extremely good shape and very, very strong.
Javinko with his back, too. He's in the red singlet with the red ankle bracelet there, and Troy Letters is in the green. Hard to believe that when you look at these two that they're 145, that they qualified that way. I mean, it just...
These guys are really built. And you're not kidding, Jed. When you stand, next to these kids, you think they weigh about 200.
Yeah, or $180 at least. Not 145.
You can see some of the speed that Javinko has just spinning around behind Letters to get a two-point takedown.
He's a ballet man with his feet, too, isn't he?
Come on.
He really
Bring down.
He has terrific balance. Terrific balance. He is rarely in bad position.
Already out to the 2-0 lead.
Green set.
Referee here at 145 is
Red, you're on.
Randy March. Javinko, 143-8 lifetime. I mean, that is 143 victories and 8 defeats. That is all.
One neutral.
Javinko confident on his feet is just going to let Letters up. Troy Letters from Shaler qualified as the Southwestern Regional Champion at 130 pounds. In a preliminary match against Joe Little from Erie McDowell, District 10, he was disqualified for biting. He wasn't disqualified just from the match. He was disqualified from the tournament.
There you see them. Locking in. 2-1. Javinko with the lead of 1. We count out the final 15 seconds now of this opening period in the championship at 145. For all of you watching the 1999 PIAA State Wrestling Finals at home, you're tuned in to the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of your local cable television company. We welcome you live to the Hershey Park Arena. Jed Donahue, Jim Davis, and let's go to Mark Shuey. Mark?
Well, Jed and Jim, Jim said about Troy Letters was disqualified last year as a freshman, the 130-pound category. He claims that he never did fight his opponent from Erie McDowell. He says that the opponent drug his arm across his face, and he had some red marks on his arm. Referee disqualified him from the match. But the reason that this is so important to Troy Letters is because he wants to come to Hershey and to prove to the people of Hershey and to the wrestling community as a whole that he's not that kind of wrestler, that he's a good wrestler. He's not the kind of guy that fights people. He wants to look real good here tonight. He wants to walk away, of course, with a state medal, but he wants to, more than anything else, prove his wrestling skills and that he is not that kind of wrestler that gets disqualified.
He's used a pair of escapes to tie this thing at 2-2.
Tied 2-2 against the defending state champion. Jed, we talked earlier about the WPIAL as we watched Javinko in on a double leg.
Put that easy down. Don't throw him. That's really good officiating right there. I mean, Javinko knew exactly what he could and could not do.
In the heat of the moment,
I got a 1 count.
The wrestler might slam his opponent, but the referee was very good about explaining, put him down easy, put him down easy. It's your responsibility.
Well, how about Javinko? Oh, okay, I'll just lightly go. I mean, wow, what kind of strength does that take?
But yeah, we talked earlier about the WPIAL conference down in District 7.
The Whippeal.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the 1998 NCAA Division I Championships, Pennsylvania had 12 All-Americans when it was all said and done. 7 WPIAL wrestlers were All-Americans. 3 of them made the finals. including Oklahoma State champion, 118-pounder Teague Moore.
Let's go, guys.
What
Are you
about
okay?
Ty Moore, right? Who was a 4-time state winner out of North Allegheny.
You want
At
time?
last year's championships, the WPIAA wrestlers had as many All-Americans as Ohio,
Shut up,
Oklahoma,
Tom Green.
or California, and more than any other state in the country.
I would have held it
Wow,
down.
that's just there, that conference. Then we mentioned the District 11. I mean, you could go around the state anywhere you want as we have an injury time that's running right now. That's why I think it's safe to call this the premier scholastic event of its kind. I mean, there isn't a college coach in the country who doesn't have his eye on the talent that roars through this building. And I'm talking about even some of the guys in the consolation brackets, because there are guys that don't medal here, Jim, who come on later on. I mean, who develop later. They just
Here it is, son.
haven't been an impact guy yet on the high school level, who've just blossomed at the next level.
Sure. I went to college with one of them, Brian Brown from Manheim Central. He was at least as I recall, a two-time he qualified twice for the state championships. I don't think he might have won maybe one or two matches in the
Here we go,
tournament at states for Pennsylvania, but when he went to college,
Here we go,
he was
Green.
All-American several times. He
Green,
placed as high as fourth
red.
in the country, and
So.
and never really even did well at all as far as the Pennsylvania State Wrestling was concerned.
That's just one of many stories that are available out of this tournament. Let's go to Mark as we count out period number 2. 4-3 right now. Javinko leads by what, Mark?
Well, it was interesting. There was not really an injury timeout to Troy Letters. You know what happened? It looked like he was injured, but everybody was looking at his eye. He had lost the contact. And you know what happened? One of the press photographers right here along the press row saw the contact out on the mat, went out, got it for Troy Letters, and they put it back in his eye. Now he's okay. But, yeah, it was a missing contact from Troy Letters, which caused the delay. Jed?
We'll get something ready next time.
Referee here is Randy March. He's standing over there, and there's
Okay,
blood
stop
time
the
out
clock.
there. 15 seconds.
Here we go. We're back
Ran
in
off.
Red. Here we go, Red. You're down.
They do everything but get the Zamboni out of the runway here to clean off that mat if there's blood on it. All right, final 2 minutes.
Red, set.
Take me where
Don't move.
Javinko is. You're in the down
You're on,
position.
Green.
You're leading by 1. What do you think's going through your mind right here?
Well, he's going to get out in a hurry. At least he's going to try to get out in a hurry. One of the things that he does not want to do is stay down and let Troy Letters work his cross body ride, which he's got on him right now.
Down.
Nothing doing. They burn 11 seconds there. Seems like they're up there for, longer than that, but only 11 seconds goes by.
Red, set. Don't move. Green on.
Justin Javinko won last year at 140 pounds, looking to go up one more to 145 and get gold that way and have the Midas touch.
I think we can assume the fact that Pirzola was down at 140 had a little bit something to do with the fact that he's up at 145 this year. In fact, Pirzola and Javinko wrestled each other in the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Classic. Javinko lost that match to Pirzola 10-8 in the final. And that is the only loss that Javinko has suffered this year.
Red, down. Red, down.
I'm sure if Dave had that head on here, that would have been
Get that red.
one of the marquee matchups. Just simply by what those two have done this
Cross in
year.
red. Your hands too far back, big man. Just have the hands in front and knees behind.
Troy Letters placed 4th in the Cadet National
legal red.
Freestyle
Set. Don't move.
tournament
You're
this
on,
past summer, losing in the consolations to Jason Woodall from Pittston. Jason is the brother of James Woodall, who's our finalist in the next weight class.
Underneath a minute to go now in the final period.
Letters.
Javinko with a 1-point lead at 4-3.
Letters really has his work cut out for him. He's on top of the defending state champion behind my point. Really, the only way he's going to be able to score is to turn Javinko on his back, and not a lot of people can do that. Javinko's only loss last year was also in the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Classic to Derek Jenkins from Parkland, District 11. Jenkins has gone on to Rider University and distinguished himself very well as an excellent college wrestler.
Now we have another injury timeout. Let's go over to Mark Shuey and see what Mark has for us. Mark?
Well, you see Justin Javinko. He's being attended to by his coaches right about now. But Javinko up 4-3 right now, third period. Javinko is one of two returning state champions here this evening at the AAA level. The other coming up in the 189-pound class, and that's John Trenge of Parkland. And he's got a tough customer coming up against himself. It's Jacob Leininger, lowered off as Jacob Leininger. Had a great tournament. In fact, if he beats Trenge tonight, he could be the wrestler at the tournament for the AAA level here. Jacob Leininger has pinned every opponent en route to the 189-pound championship match. But right here, Justin Javinko in the red is one of two defending state champions wrestling here tonight at the AAA level.
You're on, Green.
Next up, 152 pounds. Still plenty of action here. Final 25 seconds of this third period. As you see the clock on the left. Anybody's game right now. Letters on the top. Trying to turn Justin Javinko over, and Javinko just kind of riding it out, staying stationary.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to get himself in trouble. You can see him keeping his elbows in. He doesn't want to get into half Nelson or anything like that. Does get an escape, and that's going to ride out the rest of the period.
And that'll do it. Javinko has won it, 5-3. Nothing fancy about that effort. I mean, there was few spectacular moments there, but it was effective.
Well,
Gets the job done.
Workmanlike fashion, Justin Javinko never in trouble. 5-3 win over Troy Letters from Shaler. And Letters is only a 10th grader. We're going to see more of him.
Hey, he fought the tough fight there. I mean, no question. Trite statement, but no other way to describe that. I mean, that's a buzzsaw. And, you know, once Javinko gets planted in there, there's not a heck of a lot you can do. He is so strong in the upper body.
He's strong and he's quick, and once he gets in deep, boy, he is very good at finishing his moves. Troy Letters could do against Justin Javinko, our champion at 145 pounds.
Let's go over to the medals table right now at 140 pounds, where Mike Piazzolla of Neshaminy stands tall. I'll tell you, he's something in a junior. And he's one of the top looks in this house at 36-0 now. No question.
Michael Piazzolla is he's a flashy wrestler with some big stuff. And I'll tell you, Jed, I thought he was going to run out of gas in that third period, and he really turned it up a notch. And Anthony Andrews from Johnstown, a senior, his record is 23-1, state runner-up. But Mike Piazzolla, our champion at 140 pounds.
Go to 152 pounds, James Woodall of Pittston area, 37-0. See a look at him. He'll be in the red anklet. And Charlie Brenneman out of Hollidaysburg, second Hollidaysburg kid. Eric Frick is already in the house with a victory at 130, 5-1 over Corey Gano. Brenneman 30-1 on the season. And Tim Cook is our head referee here at 152. Getting to the middle of the order now, Jim.
Well, this is it. I'll tell you, I am very impressed with Charlie Brenneman. To look at him, he doesn't look all that powerful. He's not really that strongly built, but he has got some great stuff. He beat Bill Bay from North Allegheny, who I thought was pretty tough in District 7. Beat him 5-3 and really handled him pretty well. It was 3-3. He had a takedown in the third period with 8 seconds left to win to make it into this final.
Pat O'Donnell, the defending state champ, was shown little respect here in this weight class.
Pat O'Donnell from Waynesburg, District 7, defending state champion, got beat by Chris Vecchio from Governor Mifflin.
Vecchio came into this thing at 37-0, and Woodall ran him off in the semis, in the quarters.
You gotta wait.
Check that in this morning's semifinals, 11-3. Pittston, District 2.
Not thin.
This is big trouble now. I'll tell you, Brenneman
You can see what I mean. Charlie Brenneman doesn't look like much, but he's not only going to get back points. Questionable whether the referee will award 2 back points. No, he does not, but he did get a 2-point takedown.
Woodall trying to weather the storm.
Brenneman has a very good tilt from the top position.
No, let's work in the center, guys.
Woodall's short stature may work against him.
Red, you're down.
Yeah, Woodall is he's built like a pickup truck. He's short
solid
to the ground, and
Red,
there are no
set,
handles
top.
on him. 1:07 left here in the opening period in the championship at 152.
I mentioned that Brenneman from Hollidaysburg was a state runner-up back in 1998. Last year, he qualified as the Northwestern Regional Champion at 145 pounds. He lost his finals to Derek Jenkins 6-4. He finished the season 34-1.
Guys. There's 2.
2 points there for James Woodall.
Woodall in nicely, hit a nice limp arm to get out of it. It's a 2-point takedown against Brenneman. Brenneman comes right back at him.
Still have red. Right here, guys. Right here.
Boy, these guys are like a pretzel here. They are just glued together.
Let's go, guys. Start over here.
Well, Woodall coming back a little bit, making it 3-2. He's got the 1-point lead.
Woodall qualified for this tournament as the Northeastern Regional Champion.
We have green set, red
One
to
is-
top.
Regional Championship 18-6 over Muhammad El Battah from Wyoming Valley West.
Guys are flying around here, aren't they? It's 3-2 still. Final seconds ticking away in the opening period. Brenneman and Woodall, and they
Work in the center, guys.
work in the center, and that'll buzz out the first period. Pretty good action in that opening period, right back where we started, 3-3.
Well, we're tied 3-3, but you would think these guys have wrestled for about 6 minutes. They've really gone at it.
Bottom.
Brenneman out of Hollidaysburg. Again,
3-0,
30-1
guys.
on the season. He's
Stay red.
116 victories and just 12 defeats in his career.
Green set.
Well, one thing, these District 6 kids, they're not short on bouts, are they? They have 2 tournaments a week up there or what?
Woodall in with a great fireman's carry.
Brenneman's in a bit of season trouble. He got turned around just in time.
And Woodall's going to work a near cradle from this position. He's got enough strength. He could probably turn Brenneman.
Yeah, no back. No back.
He's going to try real hard, I'll tell you that.
He's trying to get some points.
No, we're straight up, guys.
Last year's
Center,
championship,
red to top.
Woodall qualified as the
Yeah, no back.
Northeastern Regional
Green.
third-place finisher at 152. He
Yeah,
lost to
green.
the eventual champion, Pat O'Donnell from Waynesburg, District 7, 8-6 in overtime in the quarters. Went down to that tough consolation bracket and was eliminated and did not place last year.
Green set. We have optional start red. Go ahead.
One of the things to mention
Nothing,
about Charlie Brenneman is
nothing.
he is an
We
excellent
have
student
nothing there, guys.
and at the top of his class at Hollidaysburg High School.
No. Nothing.
Tell you what, Brenneman's really got that.
Well, he knows if he lets go, it's going to be trouble.
5-5 as they separate. Go front and center. Fans like this action with 50 seconds left in the second period. It's been the most entertaining match of the night so far as we go to 152 here. And these guys are slugging it out. Woodall down with a takedown and 2 points to take the
Green,
lead.
are you injured? We have injury. Green, right here.
Brenneman's hurt. Right about the groin area. I mean, he got rifled down. Mark? Let's go to Mark Shuey.
That was a tremendous shot, and he is grabbing his upper thigh area, and it's a, he was taken out very hard. You know, not all of the wrestling education that these guys acquire comes from the actual heat of battle right here on the mat. James Woodall, for example, he watched his brother Jason survive a scare earlier in this tournament. Jason had a substantial lead that he let slip away. And you know what? That woke James up. It forced him to concentrate the entire match, Do not let up. Never give up.
Now, okay?
So James Woodall learned a valuable lesson from his brother Jason's match, and who knows, that information could translate into a state title for James Woodall.
Injury time continues to go for Brenneman, trying to walk it off.
Now,
Second period.
bleeding. We just need to wait
If Woodall would win the state title at 152 pounds, it would be the first state champion
Green, your
for
bottom.
Kinston High School.
This has been a grinder. 7-5. Woodall with a lead by 2.
Unfortunately, you can see Charlie Brenneman is really
Okay,
hurt.
Red.
I noticed that he took a lot of injury time in his semifinals match.
Go ahead, Red.
I think that same injury has given him trouble in this final.
Mentioned our referee, Tim Cook, for this match at 152. There's your time remaining in the second period.
7-6. Nothing, guys.
Brenneman took a whizzer in, but
Boy, now he's got 3-point lead. Boy, he's a point machine. He takes his opportunities and finalizes on them.
Brenneman had a whizzer in, but Woodall tried to limp arm out of it. That didn't go well, so he just picked up a leg and got a 2-point takedown.
Red, choice. Red wants bottom. You okay, Green?
Charlie Brenneman's
You okay?
father
You're
was
top.
a state champion back in
Red, you set?
1971
Okay. Green,
at
top.
165 pounds.
Been a lot of father-son acts in this tournament over the years. 10-6 with the escape point going to Woodall, who's got the 4-point lead.
No. Now we have two.
Woodall knows that groin area hurts. That's where he's going.
Brenneman is really hampered by that injury.
Center, guys.
12-6. I mean, he's just trying to cut it out right now.
You can
He
see,
only has 30-some seconds worth of injury time remaining.
and if he stops the clock again,
Back to the center.
yeah, you can see he's really hurt. And again, you know, this new injury rule, you can only stop the clock twice, and the second time that you do, your opponent gets a choice of how he wants to restart the match.
Reset. We have optional start.
If you have an
Red.
injury, you are at a tremendous disadvantage. On top of that, you only have 90 seconds of injury time.
Woodall going right there. Gets another 2-point takedown. He's in command now at 14-7.
Keep wrestling, guys.
115. And you see Brenneman on the bottom. I mean, he is definitely favoring that injury, Jim, as you had mentioned.
And Woodall is relentless. I watched him in the the northeastern regionals, and you know, I was sitting with a friend of mine. I leaned over and I said, you know, that kid is going places. He is really, really tough. He
All right.
never runs out of gas.
Right now, he's 55 seconds of going to the medal stand with gold. He is in control. On top here and on top on the big board at 14-7.
Keep wrestling, guys. Keep
Matt
wrestling.
King
Come
of
on.
Connellsville. Garrett Botempo of DuBois
Guys,
is next
second
at
down here.
160.
Red, you're still top.
37 seconds remain.
Green set. Red, you're top.
Matt Petro, the head coach, 37 seconds left. Get it done.
Yeah.
Rock him. Rock it down. He's James Woodall's head coach, and he's in safe position. Charlie Brenneman, I mean, that injury just really put the fire out. It really neutralized his effectiveness the remainder of this match. But give Woodall credit where it is due, 14-8. I mean, he's relentless, Jim, and he is the genuine article here. No question.
I'll tell you, Woodall would be a nightmare to wrestle if you were healthy, and
Let alone having a wing back working right.
yeah, let alone having a serious injury. Charlie Brenneman really, he never got his game going. I think the injury really had an awful lot to do with that. But James Woodall, a champion.
Thank you, Green.
He's, I'll tell you what, he is the real deal.
It's tough. It's a disappointment, I know, when you you get an injury or you end up losing the state championship. But, you know, Jim, when you start this tournament like on Thursday and you get here, I mean, that says a lot. But, I mean, because you use that word buzzsaw an awful lot. I mean, getting here is a buzzsaw. You are constantly in the fire in this tournament. Constantly.
Yeah, and you know, James Woodall finishes the season with a record of 38-0, and he's a junior.
38-0. He's now 105-8 career-wise. I want to know the 8 guys who've taken him out, okay? There's 8. Anyway, let's go to the medals stand right here at 145. Justin Javenko, second time for his state title, won at 140 last year, goes up one more, weight class to 145 and strikes gold there from Plymouth White Marsh, District 1. Outside of Philadelphia. He's going to 160 right now. Matt King, McConnellsville High School, District 7, 37-3 overall. Tom Gold's his coach. And Garrett Bontempo, 30-3 overall out of DuBois, District 9. Rick Barron is his head coach at 30-3. There's fans, young and older, here at the Hershey Park Arena. Sold out for this Parade of Champions in AAA. Jed Donahue, Jim Davis, Mark Shuey, our entire WITF production crew. And we'd like to thank everyone involved in tonight's state final, and a thank you as well to the cable companies in the state that carry the Pennsylvania Cable Network, bringing sights and sounds of the 1999 PIAA State Wrestling Championships to millions of Commonwealth residents. This has been just great to be part of. 2 weeks from now, March the 26th and 27th, we will be here for the Hardwood Girls and Boys State Championships. It'll all start at 1 in the afternoon on Friday the 26th with 4 games. We'll have action in girls AA, boys single A, girls quad, and boys AAA on Friday. And then on Saturday, we'll have 4 more games.
Jim? They've done a switcheroo on it. They've changed the anklet colors. Matt King from Connellsville is in the blue and white uniform with the green anklet. Garrett Bontempo from DuBois in the black and red uniform with the red anklet.
Orvis Klein is our lead referee.
You're still in. Work it in, boys.
Stalemate, and I'll go back to the center circle. You're looking at the
Keep it in the center.
championship at 160.
Bontempo beat a very tough Todd Waring from Seneca Valley, District 7. Waring only had 1 loss coming into the semifinals. Bontempo beat him 1-0. He got headlocked. Bontempo got headlocked flat in the 3rd period, but there wasn't any time on the clock, and it didn't count for a point. King in with a nice takedown.
Matt King with the 2-0 lead. King is really tall. I mean,
1, neutral.
so the 1-point escape makes it 2-1.
No, you touched out.
King was a Southwestern Regional Champion last year at 145 pounds. He lost in the first round here at Hershey to Eric Ware from Henridge, District 1, 7-5. Made it all the way through the consolation brackets and placed 3rd last year.
In here. Top bottom neutral, defer green.
Mentioned that
Top bottom
Bontempo
neutral
beat
red.
Todd Waring from
Green
Seneca
deferred.
Valley,
Red
District
takes
7, to
down.
make it into the semifinals 1-0. Last year, Bontempo came here as the Northwestern Regional Champion at
Get
160
on,
pounds, and he lost in the first round to none other than Todd Waring from Seneca Valley, 7-5.
My fault. Ease off on him. Hold in there, son.
About ready to start the second period as you listen to Orvis Klein, our lead referee, and we are underway.
1, neutral.
Well, Garrett Bontempo living on the escape right now. It's now 2-2.
A little bit of an arm drag there by King. Coming into the tournament, these two wrestlers were ranked number 1 and 2 in the state. Matt King ranked first. Bontempo from DuBois ranked second.
Work out of it, both of you. Center, work it in the center. Let's go.
Really much to say yet, Jim. I mean, these two are just kind of feeling each other out a little bit. Justin Millard of Bald Eagle area and Nick Richmond of McGuffey are next at 171.
I should mention, Jed, that one of the qualifiers for this year's Northeastern Regional Champion, only a 10th grader from Blue Mountain, District 11. He is the first ever regional champion for Blue Mountain High School. He won his first match 3-2 over Ricky Barnett from Hempfield, and then lost to Waring, who Bontempo beat to make it to the final.
Final seconds of this second period. It's 2-2 between Garrett Bontempo of DuBois and Matt King of Connellsville. Even Orvis Klein wanting a little more action out there. The lead referee and telling them both such. Do you become extra cautious in this situation? Is that what we see sometimes?
I think
Guys
you do.
that don't gamble. I mean, that's...
Green takes down. Green down.
You have an opponent who's at the state finals, and you dare not make a mistake. You know, we've seen it happen. Right off the bat, Jim Collins got a little bit high, and Jeff Priest from McGuffey, he put a stop to it in a hurry.
Yeah, Collins was doing well, and then boom, all of a sudden, one crack in the door, and out you go. I mean, that happens a lot in the Parade of Champions. I mean, a much anticipated event, but sometimes it gets cautious because the table stakes are so high.
Yeah, the wrestlers are afraid to do what got them here.
And that's easy to understand. I mean, you realize your opponent, I mean, he's here for a reason because he's good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best out there, too. And right now, Matt King with a 3-2 lead. It's anybody's game. Final period at 160.
The referee did not award any points. I think that was a good call. Nobody really had control.
Ready?
Tempo making sure his headgear is ready. And
it's a potentially dangerous situation. He had Bontempo's lead twisted at a really bad angle. The referee rightly stopped that.
Orvis Klein quickly in to separate the two. The head referee here, a long-time official, veteran. It's been a well-officiated tournament. Well-officiated Parade of Champions. Now Bontempo trying to get in.
He shot in for a single leg, but he got himself a little bit extended. Bontempo's countered him nicely. Trying to sort of come out and get in control.
He'd love to turn him over just a touch more and let the meter run on some back points.
The referee has finally awarded the 2-point takedown.
This will give Bontempo his first lead of this match with 30 seconds left now at 4-3. And a stalemate.
You're dangerous on the
Or
knee.
dangerous,
You're
rather.
down.
Well, King
The
is down.
interesting thing, King comes from the down position, down 1.
He's got 27 seconds to score a point to tie this thing up.
You're set. Get on.
King's trying to get hand control to get away from his opponent. Bontempo. Bontempo doing a nice job throwing his leg and trying to keep him down. He's going to get warned for stalling.
You got to make an attempt, son. You got to make an attempt.
Bontempo had 5 seconds to at least make an attempt to bring his opponent to the mat. The referee called him for stalling because he really didn't do anything.
So now he's got to try and ride it out because, I mean, Matt King is in a position where he knows in the down he can at least try and get 1 point.
On.
But you can bet Bontempo wants to ride through it. Final seconds, counting it out.
Bontempo's in pretty decent position on the edge of the mat. He's only got a couple seconds to just hang on.
Matt King rolling, and it pounds out. Oh, what a heartbreaking finish from Matt King.
Anklet.
Jared Bontempo wins it from DuBois. A final of 4-3. That's
Good match,
close.
boys.
Couple
Good
more
match.
seconds, and King may have had it going. Tough finish.
King
Tough
was-
match at
he was-
160.
King was just about out, but Bontempo did a nice job of hanging tough.
He didn't take his first lead until 30 seconds were left. Let's go to the medals now at 152. I'm sure they're gathering over there and get a good look at James Woodall to beat out Charlie Brenneman by a final of 14-8. There we have it at 152. Pittston area at a District 2. Woodall 38-0. He's the real deal and only a junior.
He is the real deal,
He gets
Janet.
that nice fluorescent target to play with next year. He's going to take everybody's best shot. That's the one thing when you're a defending state champ, the mental preparation that it takes. It's like being Duke or Kentucky or North Carolina in college basketball or Indiana. You take everybody's best shot, match in, match out.
Well, your opponents really don't have anything to lose. And, you know, they're coming at you with everything they got, so you better be ready to deal with it.
Let's go to 171. This is pretty good stuff here. Justin Millard, Bald Eagle area. Third of the BEA boys to make the finals. Corey Gannell lost his match 5-1 to Eric Frick. And Bald Eagle area Mike Manny got one 8-3 over Ryan McCallum of Wilson back at 125 pounds. Millard at 33-9 overall, and there's Nick Richmond at McGuffey. And Jeff Breeze started this night out with a regular fall of 216 at 103. Anybody's game here?
Well, this could go
Pretty
either
much.
way, but to start things off, you've got Justin Millard from Bald Eagle area in the solid blue uniform. You see him there on your screen. Nick Richmond
Red anklet.
with the red anklet. Nick Richmond from McGuffey in the blue and yellow uniform. He has the green anklet.
Same colors, school-wise, they're just utilized differently.
Well, Bald Eagle area has about 4 different singlets that they use, and sometimes you have to stare at them for a little bit just to make sure that you got it right.
They're playing for not only the team championship, of which they had a commanding lead heading into the parade of champions, but a potential national championship. That's how good BEA has been. We saw them, as we mentioned, in the first ever PIAA team championship, beat out Upper Perkiomen. They're 53-0. And Millard, I know he had a pin
Come on, guys.
in that. At
As
171.
I recall, I think he had a nasty headlock.
One of those cement jobs that they call. You gotta love wrestling terms. I mean, there's nothing subtle about what's called a cement job. Pretty good move there by Nick Richmond to get on the board first at 2-0.
Richmond competed most of the year up at 189 pounds. He made the drop just for the end-of-season tournaments down to 171. He is a fabulous wrestler at 171. Rated first in the state. He placed second, 171 pounds last year.
To a pretty good look. Christian Luciano, Northampton last year.
Yeah, he lost his finals to
Good as
Luciano.
anybody.
And Luciano, I'll tell you, as a high school kid, he is something else. He beat Richmond 7-3 in the finals last year.
Final 10 seconds of this opening period. 2-0 with Nick Richmond. Tonight's state championship contest being telecast to more than 2 million homes in the Commonwealth, thanks to the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
Choice.
For those of you
Green, defer.
watching
Red.
at home, welcome.
Sir, neutral. On our feet.
I mentioned that Richmond competed most of the year up at 189 pounds. He has 3 losses. 2 of his losses, well, one of them is to John Trench from Parkland, District 11, our defending state champion at the next weight class, 189 pounds.
That we see next.
And the other loss is to Joe Ross from Connellsville, also District 7. Joe Ross was the Southwestern Regional Champion at 189 pounds. His third loss was actually a slam. He slammed an opponent.
Second period, Richmond out in front of Justin Millard, 2-0. McGuffey is running second in the team category as far as points go in this heading into the finals. A parade of champions tonight.
Center. Okay.
Millard from Bald Eagle area won the Mannheim Tournament Finals this year over Jared Mangle from Shikellamy District 4, pinning him in 1 minute and 39 seconds.
That Mannheim tournament, too, Jim, is one of the top deals in South Central PA, but it really attracts a quality top-level field, and there's Nick Richmond scoring again for a 4-0 lead now.
Now, Millard just sort of hit a kind of a half-hearted headlock there and really didn't put much mustard on it. It was pretty easy for Richmond to just sort of drive right on through it to get a 2-point takedown.
Go over to Mark Shuey. Mark, where are you at here in the arena as we're counting out the second period with 15 seconds left?
Well, you know what I'm doing? I'm walking around this very historic building, and it is still packed to the rafters. 8,000 packed the Hershey Park Arena for this AAA championship, and it is a historic building. The only man to ever record 100 points in a single NBA basketball game, Wilt Chamberlain, performed that feat right here in this building 37 years ago this month. March of 1962. It is also the home of the venerable American Hockey League franchise, the Hershey Bears. And many Olympic ice skating champions have performed here. Peggy Fleming, Dorothy Hamill, and many more. And it's home to concerts and many other entertainment events. It's a very busy building, and it's a gorgeous place to hold high school championship wrestling. And packed to the rafters, an electric atmosphere here tonight at the Hershey Park Arena. Jed?
We'll be back here in 2 weeks for the PIAA basketball championships. And now, Justin Millard of Bald Eagle area beginning to get busy.
Green, you're down.
Got in, got a takedown. He's still down by 1 point with 1 minute and 37 seconds left.
He's going to use optional. Come on in. You got one.
He's going to try to turn this into a takedown contest.
So it's 5-3. Nick Richmond after they separate. And now they go at it.
Last year, Millard qualified for the state championships at 171 pounds as a Northwestern third-place finisher.
Center.
He lost in the preliminary round and did not place last year.
Let's go center now. 109.
Referee here, 171, Jim Poole again.
Millard unafraid to throw a big move. Richmond in with a nice bear hug. He's going to do it right in the middle of the mat.
Yeah, really. That brings the McGuffey crowd alive as he takes a 7-3 lead, and he's looking to ride time now. 35 seconds and counting to go in the match. Now to 30.
Don't stop, guys. This works. We got 30 seconds.
Man, that's a tough customer. He's got a 4-point lead. I mean, Millard is highly regarded.
Millard with about 10 seconds left. But I'll tell you what, Richmond really looks good. He's going to ride this out and become a state champion at 171 pounds.
Second of the night for McGuffey. They started with Jeff Freeze at 103, and that's an impressive victory. 7-3 for Nick Richmond.
Nice match. Good match. Shake hands. Congratulations.
Did I mention that Richmond competed most of the year up at 189 pounds? This is an instance where dropping to 171 is the right thing. He really looks tough at 171 pounds, and quite frankly, I don't think that he could go with John Trench. Not a lot of kids in the universe could go with John Trench, but boy, he really looks tough at this weight class.
There's much strategy. Who do I not, want to play, or who do I avoid? Let's go to the award ceremony now. 160. Garrett Matempo didn't take his first lead. Ended up being the final. Wins 4-3, and he didn't get that advantage until 30 seconds were left in his match with Matt King of Connellsville, and DuBois is in the house with a gold medal tonight.
I thought that Matt King from Connellsville was going to hang on there, but Bontempo from DuBois had another thing coming. He's our champion with over 4-3 over Matt King in Connellsville at 160 pounds.
All right, let's set it up at 189. Jacob Leninger of Lower Dauphin, 33-4. He has been a story in this tournament, all by fall, all of his victories. But there he is. What a hammer, 39-0, the defending state champ. Where's he rank, all the 189-pound guys you've seen over the years? He on the list?
He's pretty tough. Yeah, he ranks right up there. I'll tell you what, he does not have a weak spot in his lineup. He's got great stuff. He's got good quickness. He's
the toolbox is full, is what you're saying.
It's chock full.
Well, you tell us about Jacob Leininger. Looking at him, he were to pull the upset off here, he has a chance to be the outstanding wrestler.
One of the things that Leininger has from the top position, he rides cross body with the double grapevine, that sort of thing, puts power halves in, and that is what he's been pinning everybody in the tournament with. One of the problems is he's going to have a tough time holding down John Trench. John Trench from the bottom position he's tough to hang on to. He is up and out and moving, and he's got some strength that you just can't hang on.
All right, we're going to use the hands.
He can't wait to get back at it. Friends. He played for the Eastern finalists in football. Mark will tell you about that here in a little bit. Just getting started. You won't take your eyes off this at 189. This is one of the featured matchups of the evening right here.
Improve. Watch the choke.
Leininger from Lower Dauphin has the opportunity to become his school's first state champion. But back in 1973, Lower Dauphin sent 3 people into the finals in successive weights. 138 pounds, Tom Utek, 145 pounds, Mark Stauffer, and 155 pounds, Ed Nicewinder, and they all lost.
Fingers.
John Sauve lost this morning to John Trench 10-4 in a matchup of last year's championship at 189. And he's kind of what they'd say, a stablemate of Leininger's. They wrestle all the time against one another. They're best friends as far as the wrestling community goes. And that would have been a very interesting dilemma had they met here at 189, although I'm sure that John Sauve would have taken that.
Yeah.
But
Leininger has 4 losses, and his only losses are to Trench at the John Trench at the Mannheim tournament semifinals, and then he has 3 losses to Sauve. One of them is in overtime.
32 seconds left. So we go to Mark Shuey. John Trench, no stranger to football. Parkland, real young nucleus, going to be one of the teams to look for in the East next year, but he was a main contributor, Mark.
Oh, that's right. John Trench, defensive end for the Parkland football team. Parkland lost to eventual state champ CB West in the Eastern Finals. And, you know, football and wrestling are both very similar sports. They can both be very punishing to the body. Both require a almost military style of discipline. In fact, there are 5 former PIAA wrestling champions who have played in the NFL. Jed, can you name them?
No. Jim Nance is one that comes to mind. Maybe John Flannery. Let's sort this out here real quick with 8 seconds left.
Well, Trench got in on a real low single, but was countered very nicely by Leininger. He was in some trouble, but he got out of it so well, the crowd went, they loved it. They went wild. You can see these two, I don't think they're best friends, Ted.
Mark, give me the other guys there.
Okay, Jim Nance wrestled for Indiana, won a state title in 60 and 61. Brad Benson from Altoona, a state titleist in 1973. Leo Wisniewski from Fox Chapel, a wrestling state titleist in 1978. Of course, Carlton Hasselrig, former Pittsburgh Steeler, wrestled for Johnstown, won a state title in 1984. And finally, John Flannery, a 1986 state champ from Pottsville.
Well, this is going to get ugly, Ted. Trench is very good for this position. He's got enough strength. He can put Leininger down.
Leininger just desperately trying, but Trench is twisting around. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good move by Leininger to get out of trouble a little bit. He's still working it.
Now he's caught in the near cradle.
Trench is trying to...
Trench has got the balance. He can hold him down. This is going to be it, Jed.
Son, oh my goodness. Look at that, the backward jump. Wow.
Well,
That is a hammer.
Trench had beaten Leininger in the semifinals in the Mannheim tournament 5-0. Take your ankle off.
Oh, my. Now where does he rank after going back to back? Let's have a look at... This is where you do not want to be if you're Jacob Leininger.
Well, Trench has got it locked up tight. You can see him. He's looking right at Leininger's shoulders, and he knows that he's got the fall.
Now watch the backward flip. Oh, guys. That's one for our reel there. Whew. What can you say about that?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, I'd say he's the lead car for outstanding wrestler right now. Or John Breeze and McGuffey, but Trench going back to back in that kind of fashion. Against an opponent who, by the way, pinned his 3 guys getting to the finals.
All the way into the finals. Leininger has been absolutely awesome, but John Trench is just a little bit too much.
There's a bar that's just a tad higher there at 189. Let's go to the medals at 171, where Nick Richmond, a convincing 7-3 winner, ready to step into the gold medal area at 171. There he goes. Justin Millard, great year for Bald Eagle area. So they're probably going to claim a mythical high school national title by winning the team points here this evening. Final match of the night at 275. Steve Innerly of Nazareth, 37-4, out of District 11, of course, senior. Tony Malone, Council Rock. D.D. Mock, Jim told you his story earlier during the Rocky Mantella match. District 1 and a senior. There's Mr. Malone at 35-4. 275 does not mean they have to weigh 275 or above. That's the limit, right?
You bet. That's it.
Now,
minimum of 191, maximum 275.
You need more paper towels.
Got to be in between. I'm still getting over John Trench at 189. Goodness. He's the most dominant I've seen since Chris Quartnick at that weight class.
He is...
he's something.
He's tough. I'll tell you, he's going to be a very, very good college wrestler.
His mailbox is full with D1 offers, I would think. How'd you like to guard him on a football field with that quickness? Woo-hoo. I'm sure if you're an offensive lineman, you're giving a lot of lookout blocks to him. Look out!
Yeah.
Here he comes. He is a handful. What about this one, Jim? Where's the storyline in the heavies at 275?
Well, Malone is he's a smallish heavyweight, but good luck, gentlemen. Italy from Nazareth in the lighter blue uniform.
He's got the red. I don't think they could get him around those.
The anklet was just a little bit too short to get around those ankles. But Tony Malone from Council Rock in the dark blue and white uniform with the green anklet.
And we'll just kind of mentally put the red ones around Mr. Italy there.
Italy from Nazareth qualified last year as a Northeastern regional runner-up. He lost the semifinals to Dave Armstrong from Central Bucks West.
2-point takedown for Tony Malone, who's working it around.
Work up!
Opening carry to 275.
One of the things that Malone does very well is he keeps the action moving. He's not afraid to shoot in. He's not afraid to hit some moves. A lot of times these heavyweights they're so terrified about getting caught on their back because so many of them are turtles. They have such a tough time getting off with a large opponent, forcing their weight down on them that they're almost afraid to do anything, and they end up just sort of pushing each other around for a while.
Set, son. Stay bottom top.
Pennsylvania Cable Network's carriage of high school state finals made possible by Pennsylvania cable television companies, which carry the nonprofit network on their channel lineup. If you're tuned in live to this championship action, be sure to thank your local cable company for supporting PCN and giving these high school athletes a much-deserved statewide audience. Jed Donahue, Jim Davis, Mark Shuey, our entire WITF production crew couldn't be more delighted than to bring you this historic day of the Parade of Champions. With Tony Malone working it hard at 275. Front page news all over the state, but you get it live in your living room, courtesy of PCN today. And what a great time it is working with our WITF production crew. Can't wait to work with them again in 2 weeks from now.
Work.
When basketball moves front and center on March 26th and 27th. All 8 games live statewide again.
1 count.
Malone trying to work a tilt right at the end of the period.
Red.
If he had a little bit more time, I think he might have been
bottom.
in good position to get some back points.
Set, son. Green.
Last year's state championships, Malone did not qualify out of the Southeastern Regional Tournament.
What I mean, getting here is one thing. Sometimes you can't even get out of your own area code. Really. Talk about survival of the fittest. Malone with a 2-0 lead right now. In the second period.
Italy's got a lot of momentum. Trying to step over, get a 2-point reversal, which has been awarded to him to tie the match 2-2.
There's something about the heavyweights. It kind of gets the crowd revved up, isn't it?
Malone's out with an escape. Well, these two are going to mix it up, Jed. They really are. Again, Malone, he's unafraid to shoot in on his opponents. He's confident. He's strong enough to get out of any tough position he gets himself into.
Italy trying to carry, picked Malone up, got a takedown, leads at 4-3. Little point machine here going on. Underneath 50 seconds to go in the second period. Stalemate, no go to the middle.
Go, man. Go, Red.
I mentioned that Italy qualified last year as a Northeastern Regional runner-up, losing to Dave Armstrong from Central Bucks West. In the consolation brackets last year, he beat Steve Kovac from Westchester East, also a District 1 school, for third place. Italy beat Kovac again in the state semifinals, 4-2, to make it into the championship.
That's green, 1 green. That's 1 green.
1 point for Green. That's Tony Malone. Our official here is Dave Leitzel. A referee. There's your time remaining. 275-pound weight class. Couldn't be any tighter. It's 4-4. It's been a good tournament, hasn't it, Jim? They got 2-point takedown right now as Italy takes his second lead of the night. Been a lot of upsets this 3-day window.
It really has. It has been an
They're
excellent
wide open.
tournament.
Green says bottom.
Out in AA, we saw a returning state champion lose in the first round.
Man. Top.
Not do real well in the bottom half in the consolations. Again, I'd like to thank Dr. Bob Lombardi, PIAA Associate Athletic Director. All kinds of points being rung up here as Mr. Italy. Got 140 to go. Get close. Can he get it down?
He's got a lot of trouble here.
Get it done. Oh, goodness. What a way to end it. Steve Italy on the fall into the third period. And it's all over.
Ankle, son. Take hands, man.
And we have the 189.
But there's nothing subtle about the big guys here in the center square, is there?
Well, Italy's just trying to get positioned so that he can get all his weight down on the shoulders of Malone. He finally spins around, locks around the head, locks around the arm, picks his head up a little bit so he can't do a bridge to get off his back, leans over, that's it.
And that's the look of a state champ. Steve Italy from Nazareth improves to 38-4 overall. Let's go over to Mark Shuey. Mark, what do you have for us?
Well, what a tournament we just saw here this evening. You know, it started with the incredible freshman Jeff Breeze. He got things going with an impressive second period pin. You know, Breeze is one of the 6 wrestlers we saw here tonight in the AAA bracket who finished the season unbeaten and sporting the gold medal. Gary's Mike May, Harley Anderson of State College, Mike Pirazzolo from the Chamonix, Pittston's James Woodall, and the impressive John Trange of Parkland. There are all the other unbeatens as well. And also, a tip of the hat must go to some of the guys who won the silver, particularly Charlie Brenneman of Hollidaysburg. He suffered what appeared to be a very painful thigh injury. He did not win, but he fought hard the whole way, and that's a living example of guts. And basically, that's the kind of trait that all of these wrestlers who participate here Thursday through Saturday have in Hershey. And all are very dedicated, disciplined athletes. And in my book, each and every one is a winner. Jed?
John Trench, most impressive at 189. Taking a look at him, I think he's outstanding wrestler. He's the best thing I've seen in the house all day. He's the best of a great lot.
He's tough, Jed, and I'll tell you one thing I noticed him do in his Northeastern Regional Championships. I'm sure he's done it all his career in wrestling, but he has a very meticulous way of folding his warm-ups. He spends about 5 minutes folding them all nice and neatly, puts them in the corner a very certain way. I think he does it for good luck, and I'm not sure he needs any luck. I'll tell you, he's really a tough kid.
Luck follows preparation in that situation. If you see him on your board, you got your hands full. I think he's ready for college and now to deal at that level. He's spectacular. And I'll tell you what a great tournament Jacob Leininger. 3 pins on the way to the final. I mean, he was really quite the story. The buzz this weekend was a lot about what he did.
Well, he's unstoppable from the top position. He would work a half Nelson, a power half, turn his opponents over, and like you said, Jed, he flattened his way into the finals, pinning everybody he wrestled. Unfortunately, he ran into a very tough John Trench in the finals. John Trench, a 2-time state champion from Parkland, District 11, at 189 pounds.
Well, the emotion of the moment, it's tough to finish as a runner-up, but you know what? There are no losers, in my opinion, when you get to this level. I mean, you've got to fight your way in the toughest tournament in the country, scholastically. I mean, it starts Thursday, and I mean, Jim, your feet are in the fire from the minute you hit this town until they put you back out and leave, if you're not from here. I mean, it's rugged.
Well, they got 4 mats going at once, and boy, you better come here and you better be ready to wrestle. I mean, that's the bottom line. You've got to have, all your ducks in a row. You've got to be in shape. You got to be ready to go, and you got to be a little bit lucky too.
No question. Final thoughts with Mark Shuey as we await the medal ceremony here at 275. Mark?
Well, it was just a great tournament. As I said before, we saw some great performances. And like you said, John Trench, incredibly impressive here tonight. Mike Piazzolo, he sent a buzz among the press row with his impressive victory at 140 pounds. And saying a wrestler is physical is almost like saying water is wet. I mean, every wrestler is physical. But the physical style that Mike Piazzolo brought to the table tonight was just absolutely awesome. And he overpowered Anthony Edwards 11-5. So, I mean, he was particularly impressive as well. But some great performances from some great athletes. And I echo your thoughts, Jed. With the dedication and the diligence that these kids put into their sport, there are no losers. And I'm talking about every kid that gets here Thursday to the kids who are standing on the championship level here Saturday night. Every kid is a winner.
All right, and also like to thank Lieutenant Governor Mark Schweiker for joining us a little bit earlier in the evening at 119 pounds and also for a little bit at 125. Let's go to the heavies now, 275, where Steve Italy stands tall after a regular fall. He waited until the third period to get his work done in a tough match with Tony Malone, and Italy's got his first state championship and came from behind to get it done.
Well, he caught Malone on his back. And